In my personal opinion, some of the best cartoons to ever air were during the 2000s and 2010s. I know some 90s fanboys are gonna disagree with me in the comments, but bro, come on. We had Codename Kids Next Door, Avatar The Last Airbender, SpongeBob, and yes, I'm counting SpongeBob as a 2000s show. I know that the show first started in 1999, but most of its runtime has been in the 21st century. So y'all don't get that. Another reason why I think 2000 shows were better than the 90s was the aesthetic. Every show was distinct from each other and had this iconic style that made them instantly memorable while still being accessible to everyone in the family. I couldn't imagine not watching cartoons as a kid. I feel like I would have missed out on so much creativity, funny memes and moments, and just simple life lessons that I never would have gotten without these cartoons. Another reason why I say the cartoons in the 2000s were some of the best was because if you grew up in the 2000s, as things went on to the 2010s, the cartoons alongside which you matured. Shows like Adventure Time, Gravity Falls, and Regular Show were less traditional cartoon, less zany, and more absurd, awkward, and unsettling. Like that one episode of Adventure Time that ended with tree trunks just blowing up. That type of weird, unsettling humor encapsulates Gen Z humor in general. The shows in the 2010s tackled more drama as well. We started to see characters deal with real things like grief, anxiety, or existential crises. These shows respected the kids enough to believe that they could understand these concepts, and I think that's the reason why, up to this day, people in their 20s, maybe even in their 30s, will still watch cartoons time to time because they can still relate to these characters and see how they grow throughout the series. A couple weeks ago, I was reflecting back on my childhood, and being that cartoons defined such a huge part of my childhood, a fun question I asked myself was, what cartoon did I feel like capped off my childhood? My last cartoon as a child. And the answer to that question was the Cartoon Network show OK K.O. Let's Be Heroes, one of the best cartoons produced in the late 2010s. OK K.O. is a show staged in the future year of 21X, or I guess it gotta be the past since we're past the 2010s. Anyways, the titular character K.O. or Kyo Kincaid? Well, let's just call him K.O. is a young boy who aspires to be a great superhero in the video game inspired world of Lakewood Plaza. And already, this show has me hooked. Superheroes? Check. Young protagonist that will get stronger in the future? Check. Video games? Check. So, throughout the series, K.O., while working at Gar's Bodega with his two co-workers, Enid and Rad, learns what it means to be a superhero, fights villains, comes to terms with his own shadow self, all this while making sure the bodega is stocked up and the floors are mopped. Like many shows at the time, OK K.O. had some episodes with some ongoing plot lines that would be woven in with more episodic, lighthearted Saturday morning cartoon episodes. In order to never get too serious or too dramatic, because at the end of the day, it's still a kid's show, and keeping that childlike charm is just as important as telling a deep story. The show was unfortunately canceled in 2019. I think that the show just came out at the wrong place at the wrong time. During that time period, I don't know why, but Cartoon Network seemed to only really care about Teen Titans Go and Gumball, with Teen Titans Go having almost 4+ hours of airing every day during that time period. And it was also during that time when the networks were scrambling to get into the streaming race that was about to happen right before COVID. Every network at the time was seeing a decline in viewerships thanks to streaming services, which led to the show not having the best ratings. OKK was given such a low chance to succeed thanks to a numerous of circumstances. In fact, I didn't even watch the show until after it ended and was put on Hulu because Cartoon Network did such a poor job at selling the show to me, especially when I had to watch 4 hours of Teen Titans Go every day to even check out an episode. And look, I'm not a Teen Titans Go hater. I find some of the episodes hilarious alongside with all the other 8-year-olds. But bro, when it's on all day, it gets to a point. The show is the brainchild of Ian Jones-Corti, an animator and storyboard artist who was also a black man, which gives it extra brownie points for me. And to top that off, he even married Rebecca Sugar, the creator of Steven Universe and songwriter for Adventure Time, a show that they both worked on together. Both Ian and Rebecca brainstormed and wrote the credit song sung by Rebecca Sugar, It's Only Magic. The song and its lyrics thanking the audience for watching the show while also paying homage to animation itself. The lyrics going, every second that you see is 24 connected pieces, referring to the universal standards for filmmaking and animation. Animation being handcrafted means that every frame is a small piece of a bigger puzzle that is done with thought and care, with each piece containing effort, imagination, and consideration to create movements and worlds out of imagination, almost like it's magic. This magic is the foundation to any and all animation. Without them, we wouldn't have your Jimmy Neutrons, your Total Drama Islands, your Chowders, or any other cartoons that you watched growing up. And I believe that that reminder is a beautiful send-off to that childhood as its last show and its last song. Without those frames, or it's the creators, or even the audience, those of us that love cartoons wouldn't have the memories that we think back so fondly on. I haven't been a cartoon person in half a decade. Being an adult means I just have less time to watch cartoons. I don't even know what the kids are watching nowadays. I heard that Regular Show and Gumball have recently returned, which is pretty cool, but I doubt cartoons will ever make up such a huge part of my life as they used to. When you're younger, life is just simpler, so you have more space for things, but as an adult, you just simply don't have that space anymore. And hell, if I'm just talking about like things I watch now, you gotta compete with anime, TV drama, movies, YouTube. So there's just a lot to compete with, and unfortunately, it will never be as big as it used to be. But cartoons will always have a special place in my heart because they really were some of my first love in this world. And I know that they will continue for the next generation and hopefully leave an impact on them as well. Just like how Ian Jones-Corti, Rebecca Sugar, or Pendleton Ward were inspired by cartoons in the 90s and 2000s, I know new cartoons will be led by those who watch the same cartoons as I did, watch the same Disney Channel movies every year, watch the same Hard Thursdays on Cartoon Network, and also found those 2010s Nickelodeon shows to be straight garbage like Sanjay and Craig and Fanboy and Chum Chum. It's all a cycle, and it's another part of that magic. Thank you guys for sticking around. Hope we could all go down memory lane together for a couple minutes today. In the comments section, tell me what was some of y'all's favorite cartoons, and tell me what was some of y'all's least favorite cartoons. I sort of just shared mine. Those like 2010s Nickelodeon shows were so bad. Like I'm thinking like Tough Puppy was garbage, Planet Sheen was garbage, Robot and Monsters, like bro, them cartoons suck butts. But yeah, let me know in the comments. I'll reply to everyone because I love you. And until next time, stay safe out there.